Carina Pimenta and Marco Vanderie.
So, you saw the images. When you think about the forests, when you think about the Amazon, you see these billions of trees, this immensitude, these rivers crossing by with massive water. And sometimes we see the pictures of deforestation, as we saw, and you get appalled. But under these treetops, alongside those rivers, are these populations, millions of people who live in the forest, through the forest, and for the forest. They are the guardians of our biodiversity, of our natural wealth. And so if you want to keep the forest, we have to help them stay in the forest. And for that was the reason we created Conexsus. Because we believe that an economic system is possible, that instead of looking at the natural resources as a source to consume, land to clear, that you can keep the forest and you have lots of biodiversity products and ecosystem services that protect all of us because of climate change. And that economy will also look into these people and benefit their livelihoods and their well-being in the forest. That's our aim with Conexsus. And that's not going to happen, organically. It's not. We have to act, and we have to act to build an ecosystem for them. And this is a very tough one, because it shifts our minds, it shifts our perspectives. It takes us out of the comfort zone. Because when you talk to them, it is a different way of seeing economy. Who is right? When one of the first meetings I have with Conexsus in the Amazon, there was like 50 people there, community leaders. And we were for 2 days discussing, how finance can help your community enterprise, your business, and things like that. And at some point, a young woman stood up from the crowd and said, okay, one step down. What the hell is a community enterprise? We are people who live in the forest. We gather products, we collect it. So the very notion of a business means for them has to be invented with them, by them. And I think that was the beginning of a journey of building an ecosystem. And beyond this conversation, I have thousands of conversations, not only with communities who help build the concept and the needs for them, but also with investors who need to shift their understanding to make possible finance to reach them, to bankers, to companies who want to buy these products in their value chains, but it's not the same structure, it's not the same way, for science, who can find so many products in biodiversity, but has to know how to work with who is protecting it. So this is the ecosystem we are building. And this beginning of this year, a new chapter for this ecosystem is unfolding. You all know we have a new government in Brazil who embraces the fight against the climate change, who embraces the idea of dismissing social inequalities. And in the beginning of this month, last January actually, I was invited to join the government to build under the Ministry of Environment the new secretary for national bioeconomy. Bioeconomy, social bioeconomy, this is one of the paths for Brazil to go and help find the cycle of development that's good for the people. So I'm very honored to be there and to use the knowledge and this ecosystem that we are building through Conexsus to help create lasting policy making that will pave the way for this to be a lasting solution for Brazil and a social economy that we all strive and that will help us keep climate change apart from us. So I'm transitioning from Conexsus, and Marco, who was our board member and founder, also kindly accepted the opportunity to help us transitioning. And good, thank you.
Well, we couldn't be happier.
Okay.
And sad, of course, that you left us. But we don't have to hire public policy specialists because we have people right away in government dealing with that. So that's amazing. And by the way, the young woman she mentioned, who was at our first meeting, she is now also in government as a secretary working with traditional peoples. So together with Carina. So she happened to be on our board, so we lost her too. But yeah. We are doing well in that sense. So it's amazing to see how we can really transform the ideas that we've been working on in Conexsus, and Carina has been pushing so hard for into the government and create a real bioeconomy policy in Brazil. We really need this. The Amazon needs it. These are critical years, the next few years, for the Amazon, for the climate, for the planet. So we have to create this bioeconomy, or social bioeconomy as we also like to call it, that works for people and nature in the Amazon and the rest of Brazil and globally. So we keep on working on that for the coming years, and we're looking forward to working together in partnership with the government, with funders, with local communities, and many other different partners from the private sector, banking, NGOs in Brazil to achieve these.
Yeah. So thank you, Skoll, and thank you for being part of this community.
Yeah. Thank you.